Well, hello there. Seeming although you're already here, let's do a video. My name's Tanya, and on my channel I do everything beauty related, some fashion, some health and lifestyle, and today I thought let's talk about skin conditions. Well, in particular, let's talk about one skin condition, something I'm going through at the moment, perioral dermatitis. Hence the reason I am fresh out of the shower. I thought the perfect moment to film this video, and you get to see me in all my glory, without makeup, no hair done, nothing. So in case you're still interested on finding out what I have to say about my experiences with perioral dermatitis, then just keep watching. So today I thought I would film a completely different kind of video for my channel so far. It is something that I have been going through for the past several weeks, and something that I find highly annoying, and I also watched a few videos on it, and I thought, hey, maybe some of you have the same issues, and I thought I would just share my experiences with it and some of the knowledge that I have accumulated. So the condition I'm talking about, like I said before, is called perioral dermatitis. It is a kind of a skin rash. It can be very persistent and recurring, which means that once you have it, it usually tends to stick around for quite a while. And when I say quite a while, I mean usually weeks and sometimes even months. And recurring is just, it is a skin condition that can actually come back every now and again. Some people have it more frequently, some people don't. I actually had it once before, and this is like 10 years ago. When it comes to perioral dermatitis, most people or experts say that it resembles, like to an extent, rosacea and also to some extent acne. And I'm gonna zoom you in just to show you the area that I have it on my face at the moment. There we go. So at the moment I have it on literally a very small patch of my face, which would be just here. Let me zoom you in a little bit more. There we go. So this area here, it's basically like the size of one of my fingertips, and it's just this area here. Alright, so I will say I have been suffering from it for quite a few weeks now, already since the end of December, and now we're already at mid-February, so I consider that a long time, although if you listen to other people's stories of their like real struggles with perioral dermatitis, then a few weeks is nothing. This is just like what I've gone through this time. So it actually started off with what I considered to be two small impurities, so just two small little pimples, and they were nothing dramatic or anything. They didn't feel like sore or swollen or infected or inflamed or whatever, just two small little like impurities. And then the one would start going away, and then I'd be like, yay, it's finally going away, and then once the one started going away, the other one would get worse, and then vice versa. So it was like one was always going or healing, and one was always like coming up, deciding to make a reappearance on my face. And so what did I do? I then kind of went a bit overboard and started using a mixture of tea tree oil, and I used some salicylic acid from The Ordinary. I did peelings. I used which I will show you in a bit, the glycolic acid toning solution from The Ordinary, and benzoyl peroxide. I did everything because I was like, oh, I want to get rid of these, and just going overboard. But first I want to take a step back and just explain what perioral dermatitis is, or the different kinds, or how there are like different forms of it, or people experience like different issues with it. The symptoms usually include multiple small bumps, and when I say small, they can be literally tiny, like 1 to 2 millimeters, sometimes even smaller than 1 millimeter. So it basically just looks like tiny little bumps. Sometimes the bumps can contain like a kind of like a pus, or like what seems to be pus, or a kind of fluid, like a transparent fluid. Some of them just look absolutely red. The first time I had perioral dermatitis 10 years ago, I had it on my upper lip, on the area above my upper lip, and they were just like loads and loads of kind of really tiny little red dots, or actually white dots, but then when I started exfoliating there as well, the area became red. And back then I also went to a skin clinic, and they diagnosed me with perioral dermatitis, and I'll get into that in a second. So another thing that often occurs when you have perioral dermatitis, or in short you can just say POD, is background redness and dry, scaly, flaky skin, which is what you can see I have been suffering from quite a bit this time, although I must say that now it is actually going away. So I will insert a few pictures of how it looked in between. So the skin on this time got very red, and then it would I would have like these little these little bumps, and sometimes it looked like they were actually like little pimples, so they were filled, and sometimes they weren't, and the skin around it would get all red and start getting dry and feeling really tight. Like it would actually, like it would pull, it just would be like, it wouldn't be a very nice sensation. And then afterwards it would start getting like really like scaly and flaky, so you could see like little bits of skin just getting all dry and stuff. I know, sorry, it's not like the best topic, but because I suffered from it, and I know a lot of other people also suffer from it, I thought maybe a video like this would help some of you out. So another question is, where does perioral dermatitis, or POD, actually occur? So typical areas for POD are the complete area around the mouth, which doesn't mean that when you get it, it has to appear all around your mouth, but typical areas are above the upper lip, around the lower lip, the corners, and here around, like, you know, where your smile lines go down here, like these puppet like wrinkles or whatever they call them, which is where I got it this time. And a lot of people also get it around their nose, like up their lip towards their nose and around the side of the nose. And with a lot of people it can also occur around the eyes, sometimes even on the eyelids, and sometimes, which is what happened to me 10 years back, I first had it on the above my lip, and then I had like a few little areas where it spread to around my under eye area. A lot of people who have suffered from perioral dermatitis complain of their skin feeling like itchy or very dry or very tight. Some people, and in more like worse or severe cases, they actually experience like a burning in their skin. So just like the whole area feels just like really uncomfortable and raw. With me, it felt slightly tight. I didn't feel any burning, and I wasn't in any pain. It just felt like the skin was dry and basically needed to be moisturized. So now we come to the cause of perioral dermatitis. So what causes it? Like, where does it come from? And this is something that unfortunately experts and dermatologists and doctors are not 100% sure of. They've like narrowed it down to certain things where they find have been known to cause POD with certain people, and I'm gonna tell you what those are now. Quite often people suffer from POD after they have used topical steroids like cortisone creams, etc., for treating other skin conditions and issues like that. Just in case you're wondering, I have actually made myself some notes. I'm also going to insert a lot of the stuff that I tell you now on the screen as well, just so you can see it, and you can, like, maybe you want to make a screenshot or something so you have it just for yourself, for your future references. So in case you wonder why I'm looking down, that is the reason. Perioral dermatitis can also be caused by using facial creams that are just way too rich and heavy for your skin. and if they have like petroleum in them or paraffins and stuff like that. Another thing that has been known to trigger POD is if you use very aggressive and harsh skincare. And when I say aggressive and harsh, I mean things like acids and alcohols and perfume like that, because they can actually, for some skin types, or for a lot of skin types, they are just simply way too harsh, and things like that can actually trigger POD. Now we come to a very interesting point, and it is excessive skincare, which, yes, I am pretty much 100% sure caused my outbreak of perioral dermatitis this time. So when I say excessive skincare, I mean when you're using too many products too often, when you're using creams and moisturizers that are too rich, or over exfoliating, like you're using too many masks, you're using too many chemical and physical peelings. So this brings me to what triggered my issue with perioral dermatitis this time. So basically, I cannot complain about my skin. I have sensitive skin with a slightly oily T-zone. I suffer from some blackheads on my nose and my chin, a tiny bit around here and here. So basically, I'm pretty much a happy camper when it comes to my skin, because on the one hand, they say people who have oily skin tend to age a little bit better because the skin stays like more moist and subtle. And I will have like the occasional breakout, usually, you know, around a certain time of month when you have your period and it's like hormonal and stuff like that. So all in all, I don't have major skin issues. Now, I've really gotten into skincare, and I've gotten into natural skincare. So I've been staying away from all products that have perfume in it when it comes to skincare. When it comes to foundations, that's a different story. I would love to only use foundations that have no perfume in them, but because I have such a pale skin tone and whatnot, it's really hard, and I'm actually limited to the foundations that are even light enough for me. So that's a whole different story. But when it comes to skincare, I do not use perfumed products on my skin. So I'm a big fan of the Taylor's channel. Now she's going by her real name, which is Taylor Wynn, I think it is. And on her channel, she introduced me to a cleanser, which is the CeraVe, mine is in German. It's like a mild runny, oh god, now I'm mixing English and German. It's just a mild cleanser. It looks like this, and the American and English version looks exactly the same, just the language is different. So this is a very mild cleanser, and it has no perfumes in it, and it has a lot of good things like ceramides and hyaluronic acid in it, and I love using that. So I've been using that, and then to take off my makeup already for years, I've been using the Bioderma Sensibio micellar water. For my skin toner, I use two things. One is the toner that I make myself. I also have a video on my channel. I will link it down below if you're interested in it. It is basically 1 part apple cider vinegar, and the natural apple cider vinegar with the mother in it. So the when like that, like you have that like brown stuff at the bottom of the bottle, that's like all the really good stuff. So it's 1 part apple cider vinegar, and the other 2 parts is just water mixed with 1 green tea bag and 1 chamomile tea bag. And simply because the green tea and the chamomile have great antioxidants in it, and the chamomile also has like great aspects to it, as that it is calming, and it also like sterilizes and all that stuff. I make my own, like I say, and I mix it, like I said, 2 to 1, because my skin is actually quite sensitive. So I don't like mixing half, and I definitely don't use the apple cider vinegar just pure, and I probably wouldn't really recommend that to anyone. And I just apply the apple cider vinegar and the toner that I make myself on my face, down my neck, and like to my chest area, and I put it in a little bottle that I got at the chemist. And all I do is put it on a cotton swab, and I simply just, and I literally, I'm just going to look in my viewfinder, just apply it to my face. I just swipe over my face a few times, and I go down my neck. You know, if you've ever had issues with like, I had like this time where I was going through some issues with getting like 1 or 2 like pimples on my neck, and that was really annoying. And since I've started this, I haven't had an issue with it at all. Like I said, I go down my chest area. Don't have to film this, no one wants to see my chest. Right, and since I've had this breakout of POD for quite a few weeks, I actually stopped using the apple cider cleanser. But now that it is starting to clear up again, I've started using it again, but very, very gently. So I will like go over my whole face with the cotton swab, and then I will turn it over to the side that I have not used yet, and I will simply just swipe over it very gently, and then just press it down gently and just leave it to sit there for a few seconds. And that's basically all I do when it comes to toner. When I realized that the 2 little what I thought were pimples on my face weren't going away, and around the area around them started getting red and flaky and dry, I went to my dermatologist because I thought I probably did have another case of perioral dermatitis, and she said that I should get a different cleanser, which is the one I used already 10 years ago, and it is the La Roche-Posay Toleriane mild cleanser. It has a pH value of 5.5, which is the same pH that your skin basically has, which is really, really good. And it has no perfume in it, etc. And it looks like this. So when I realized that the 2 little dots on my face probably weren't just pimples, but were probably POD again, so perioral dermatitis, I went to my dermatologist, and she said that, well, basically she said it's better to stop using all products. So what they genuinely say is they say, don't use any more cleansers, don't use any more toners, definitely don't peel your skin, and don't even use moisturizers, creams, gels, nothing. So basically just give your skin a complete break. But because I really struggle with that, and I do have an oily T-zone, I told her I do want to be able to wash my face, which is when she said to me, get the La Roche-Posay Toleriane mild cleanser, which I did. The second thing she said was my dermatologist also prescribed me a cream, which I actually had made for me in the chemist. In Germany you do get some that are already like ready-made, but she prescribed me one where the actual cream base is less rich, so it's not so extremely fatty, and it has something in it called erythromycin. And I know I've seen it all over the internet, and I do know that they also prescribe this medication in other countries. So that's what I did. I went to the chemist and I got the cream. And what I do is, like I said in the beginning, when I realized it was POD and I went to the dermatologist, I started cleansing with the La Roche-Posay cleanser. Then I didn't use any toner. I didn't use the apple cider vinegar toner that I usually use. I just washed my face twice a day with lukewarm water, and then after that I would take some of the cream. What they also say is to use a very small amount, so I would use literally like this much, a tiny amount, and what you do is you just dab it on the area, and I dab it on the area that is actually affected, and just tiny little bit around it, because very often with perioral dermatitis it does spread, which is what happened to me as well. It started like in one tinier area, and then it started like spreading out a bit. It actually spread out a little bit to over here on my chin, just right there, but that's actually gone away. And then at some point I had 1 or 2 like little kind of like bumps, blisters over here, but that has gone down as well. So that is literally all I did, and that's pretty much one of the standard therapies that I have seen anywhere for treating perioral dermatitis. So I just wanted to also get back to other things that could also cause perioral dermatitis or have caused perioral dermatitis with other people, and 3 of these could be bacterial or fungal infections, toothpaste with fluoride in it, and birth control pills. Like I said, if you do have a skin condition like this, if something like this occurs on your face and doesn't go away, I would definitely not advise you to stop using any cortisone creams that have been prescribed to you by your doctor, or stop taking your birth control. Oh boy, I would say go to a doctor, go to a dermatologist and have them check it out, because they'll look at your skin, they'll examine you, and they'll say, you know, is it even POD, or is it something else? Is it fungal? Because, you know, if it's caused by a fungus or something, then chances are they're going to actually prescribe you a different medication or a different cream. The things that I would say you can do without worrying about first having to go to the doctor, like nothing drastic, would be like if all your products have perfume in it, and if you're using a lot of products that are very like harsh to the skin, or that have a lot of alcohol in it, because a lot of like toners have alcohols and stuff in it. Those are things that you can actually like cut out or like take a break from without worrying, because then those are generally things that if you cut out of your routine, they're not going to damage or harm your face in any way. It's actually going to do the opposite. But when it comes down to, like, you know, stop using a cortisone cream that has been prescribed to you, or stop taking your birth control, good grief, you know, please go and see a doctor first. But if you don't want to go to a doctor straight away, I know that things that have worked for me and things that have worked for a lot of other people are, like I said, get yourself a facial cleanser that is really mild, preferably pH 5.5, because that is the pH of our natural skin. Try not using anything with perfumes in it, and stay away from anything that is really harsh, anything that has like alcohols in it, and don't do any peelings, don't do any physical peelings or chemical peelings, because what caused my POD this time was, like I said, I was like all in this like skincare hype, and I was using the Ordinary's AHA and BHA peeling solution. I literally love this stuff, but I was using this like once to twice a week. Then I decided, hey, my skin could feel even smoother, so what do? What does Tanya decide to do? She decides to do another natural peeling. By the way, you can actually harm your body and your skin and whatnot, even if you're only using natural ingredients. Like, I decided to do a baking soda, lemon and honey mask, but I think basically one day, or even on the same day that I used the Ordinary's peeling solution, I mean, God, you'd think that I would be more intelligent than that, but it's like, you know, that's Tanya. I have to learn by making the mistakes. So be careful with stuff like that, because you can overdo it. You know, if your skin is sensitive, and my skin is sensitive, so God, like, what was I thinking? Don't overdo it. Like I said, even with natural things, like even putting just straight up lemon juice on your skin. In a lot of countries like India and Africa and stuff, they use lemon juice for whitening the skin, and they just put it on their face neat. But also in other countries such as India and Africa, they have a complete different skin type to the Europeans or the Americans. So if, you know, I'm just gonna like be splashing lemon juice on my face, which is basically what I also did in combination with the baking soda, was a very, very harsh cleanser. Also, the baking soda actually acts as not only as chemical but as an actual physical exfoliant, because there are little grains, like particles in it, and I was like rubbing the skin, and I was rubbing here because I was like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of these, yeah, what a great idea. Well, turns out it wasn't a great idea, and this is what I was stuck with. Long story short, don't overdo it with your skincare. Try and use the right products. So try and like cut everything out that you don't need. You don't need perfume in your, you know, facial cleansers. You also don't need it in your facial, like your moisturizers. Try and use natural ingredients. So like I said, my apple cider vinegar toner with the green tea and the chamomile is really great. I also have a really great ratio for my skin. Some people can maybe even make it like 50-50. I don't. I would recommend for sensitive skin a 1:2 ratio, or even maybe like less than 1:2. So like, I don't know, maybe even like just a tiny bit of apple cider vinegar and the rest like tea or water. But just don't overdo it. If you want to like, you know, exfoliate or whatever, then don't do what I did, and don't do it like, you know, several times a week. Because like for a while everything was fine, and then suddenly my skin just like went on strike. It was like, nope, this is not happening. I don't like what you're doing to me. So I'm just gonna give you a nice case of POD. Have fun. So what I'm basically trying to say is sometimes less is actually more. Now I have, I'm still using the La Roche-Posay Toleriane mild foaming cleanser. Afterwards I used the apple cider toner vinegar, but I only started using this like after a few weeks when the POD actually did start to clear up majorly. So basically I do not have any bumps or unevenness. I don't have any like dry skin or scaliness. It's just still red. And I don't even use it twice a day now. I often just like use it once a day. And like I said, I pat it very gently and very briefly. And then afterwards I will go in with the cream that was prescribed to me by my doctor. And I will be using it until it is completely cleared up. And I did literally try and stay away from makeup completely. Please excuse my hair. Like I said, I literally got out the shower. So I did actually try and stay away from makeup for the longest time. I had a very important work meeting just yesterday, and that was the first time in about 4 weeks that I actually, or 3 or 4 weeks that I actually put makeup back on my face. And when I came home again in the evening, I immediately took it off, just like did my cleansing routine. I used my Bioderma micellar water to take the makeup off, and then I just did my routine like I told you. And I was worried it was like gonna be straight back again, but it's actually fine. And today I didn't put on any makeup. And like I said, I wanted to bring you this video because it is something that causes stress. You know what? I have a teeny tiny little patch on my face, but in between it looked so awful. Like, I'll insert pictures and you know, it's not pretty. And some people, oh my god, some people, they have it so bad. Like, I've seen people, they have it like all around their mouth, like this whole area, even up on their cheeks, right up to their eyes, and it is bright red. And not only does it look bad, but it also feels bad. Like I said, some people have a burning, like painful sensation. Luckily I didn't have that, just the skin felt a bit tight. So it's like, yeah, you know, don't get over dramatic, Tanya. But I thought videos like this really seem to help me, so I wanted to just share this with you and just give you some tips. If you are interested, I would be happy to do a nice like full routine, skincare routine video for you, and maybe we can like exchange thoughts and ideas, because like I said, I am very big into natural skincare, and I use a lot of things like jojoba oil and rosehip seed oil, and they do my skin a lot of good. And like I said, I haven't had any issues until I decided to basically peel the freaking skin off my face. Yeah. But if any of you out there are also suffering from this condition, you can leave me a comment down below, or you know, ask me a question or whatever. I have put quite a bit of work and research into this whole topic. Like I said, I had it before. It was different then, it looked different. So even I have experienced 2 different like kinds of POD, or 2, you know, 2 times of POD that have had different issues. And I find these videos really helpful. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're all people. And for me, who basically loves makeup, it's like, it's just my overall hobby. But it was hard for me to actually like just go out into the world and not cover up the redness. And then I figured out, like, what the hell, like, everyone, so many people have pimples, so many people have scars, like so many people have like, you know, imperfections, and it's most of the time it's us who concentrates on things like this, and it's us or me who thinks, oh my god, that person's looking at my spot or looking at my POD or whatever, you know, but most of the people don't even notice it. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to encourage people to let's be gentler to our skin and our bodies, and also try and do things and use things on and in our bodies that are good for it, and also sometimes just accept the fact that we are not perfect. And you know what, if you have POD or whatever and you're not supposed to put on makeup or it's not really beneficial, then it's okay. You know what, it's okay to walk around with a red spot on your face, with red spots all over your face. That's just the way it is, and I think it helps to know that there are so many people out there who have the same or worse issues, and also people's stories like mine or a million other people's who say, you know what, you actually, at some point, you're gonna get over it and everything's fine. It's not the end of the world. Ooh, so that was a lot of rambling from me with no makeup. Oh my god, no hair. I mean, hair, but you know, no hairstyle. Yeah, another thing I would like to talk about in another video is I did at some point, I was diagnosed with white skin cancer, and I had it here on my forehead where you can see a scar. It goes from about here to here, which is why I, at some point in my life after the operation, decided to wear my bangs going this way instead of that way. And when I started my YouTube channel, I was so self-conscious about doing makeup videos, and I would always like leave my bangs down and put the makeup on basically off of camera, or I would just say, you know, very often I don't even put makeup there. But now I'm trying to like promote self-love and self-acceptance on my channel, which is why you can now see a video of me no makeup, no hair done. Okay, today my bangs, or I call it fringe, just keep falling over it, but I'm trying to be okay with the way I am. And I really, really, really wish that everyone all over the world would be okay with the way they are and okay with the way other people are. And that is something that, even though I freaking love makeup, want to promote on my channel, which is why I also want to start bringing a few different kinds of videos. And now, literally, Tanya, stop rambling. Thank you so much for dropping by and watching this video. I will insert a link to my apple cider vinegar in the description box below, and I will also insert all the slides, and just keep you posted. If you have any questions or thoughts, or other things that you want me to like make a video of, please let me know. Other than that, all I can say is stay healthy, stay positive, and see you all in my next video. Bye. I just realized I completely forgot to tell you what I use and have been using since the perioral dermatitis has been an issue on the rest of my face. I have been using my Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. This is a very lightweight moisturizer that has no perfume in it. It gets absorbed into the skin really, really fast and well, and leaves absolutely no tackiness or stickiness to the touch. And because I have an oily T-zone and I don't suffer that much from dry skin, I have been trying to actually not use the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream that much, and I've actually just been trying to use 100% natural, pure, cold pressed, organic jojoba oil. This is just a brand that I got off of Amazon. It's just a naturally cold pressed jojoba oil, and it is also really good for people who suffer from oily skin, because it like mimics the oils that our skin produces naturally, so you don't have to worry about getting even oilier after you've put this on your skin. Obviously I use literally 3 drops for my entire face, and this is 100% natural and gets absorbed into the body and does absolutely no harm, and for the skin it actually does wonders. Sometimes it is not enough moisture for my skin, then I will add a little bit of the Neutrogena. But all in all, since I have been suffering from POD, I have been trying to literally use as little products as possible and as many as necessary, and those that I use, I'm trying to use natural ones. So if you don't suffer from really dry skin, then this is definitely an option. And if you suffer from dry skin, you could also use the jojoba oil and then just also like add a moisturizer to the areas where you feel you really need more moisture, if that makes sense. So yeah, with all the rambling I did, I almost forgot to tell you the moisturizing steps. So I hope this video helped you out, and see you in my next video.